Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
Dante's Boxing Nation. I'm over here with the legend George Chuvalo. How you doing, man?
Dante, I'm pretty good.
I see.
Anyway.
I see.
Just got off the plane, relaxing a little bit, and waiting to have a little bit of fun the next few days.
Yeah.
When I say fun, I'm talking about like serious fun. I'm talking about, when I say that, about my career and about what's happening with me in boxing-wise, or I'm still in it or out of it or whatever.
Absolutely. It's amazing. You've been in the ring with Ali, Frazier, Foreman, and you don't even sound like you've ever taken a punch before. I mean, how does that work out, man?
I don't know. I had my brain looked at. I had a head test, and they said that they never know that I was a fighter.
Really?
Yeah, I said, you never
So I
know.
wasn't even exaggerating when I said that. Wow.
Yeah, that's what they told me anyway.
Out of all the guys you faced, who would you say was the hardest puncher?
The hardest puncher? I'd probably think George Foreman, I think.
George Foreman?
If I had to pick one.
Yeah. Because you never really, I don't think, you never got knocked out before, right?
Never
You
knocked
just,
down, no.
yeah, never knocked
I
down.
kissed a few girls, but I never kissed the canvas.
That's cool. That's cool, man. That's impressive. So, George Foreman, how would you rate Muhammad Ali? I mean, of course, you know, we know what the perception is.
Well, you have to, when you look at Muhammad or any other fighter, and when someone asks you, what do you think of him? I have to think of him at his absolute best. And at his absolute best, he's a tough guy to fight. He's constantly moving, constantly jabbing, and he tries to control the fight by making you fight his fight.
Yeah.
So my hat's off to him in that respect.
Yeah. So if you would compare Ali to Frazier and Foreman, you felt it was a little bit more easier to figure them out then, right? Or is that how you feel compared to Ali?
It all depends how you look at it. When you look at Frazier, he's a walk-in pitcher. He's pitching all the time. He's always trying to pressure you, keep you away from the center ring, onto the ropes, stuff like that. So, and he fights pretty well the same type of fighter all the time. And who else do we mention? Joe Frazier, Floyd Patterson, any of those guys. They all have their unique style. You always have to adjust to them too. So to what they're like, and you have to adjust because everybody fights differently.
Absolutely. What would you say is your most memorable win?
My most memorable win? Cherry Corey was one of my better ones. Who else? We just talked about Floyd Patterson, Doug Jones.
Okay.
They were like 1, 2, and 3 in the world when I fought them. They're the top 10 now.
Do people ever get you mixed up with Jerry Corey?
Do they get me mixed up with Jerry Corey?
Yeah.
Oh, we're both white guys.
And you guys are both...
And actually, it's not a white guy sport anymore. Maybe it was 50 years or 100 years ago.
And you guys are both known for fighting Ali, too. The two white guys at the time that fought Ali, you know. So, no, that's impressive, man. You being a heavyweight, do you still follow the sport today?
Do I follow the sport today? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I have more than a mild interest in most of the guys I know. All my buddies are fight fans. We all fight talk all the time anyway.
Oh, nice.
It's, boxing has been my life. I also feel like a fighter. I also feel like I'm like I used to be a fighter. And so I have a more than average interest in boxing when I compare myself to even my buddies. I've got my boxing buddies. I talk more boxing than most of my boxing buddies do. So.
Yeah, and that's great. Boxers that have actually been in there that actually still talk boxing, because a lot of boxers, they don't really talk boxing, or they don't really follow the sport, even the guys that actually fight.
Yeah,
I notice that a lot.
That's after the career's over.
Yeah.
And I guess for whatever reason, sometimes people lose interest. Maybe they're disappointed in their performance at the end of their career, possibly, and they don't follow up much on it. But most of the guys I've fought, when I see them, and they're all very enthused about boxing. We'll talk boxing all the time.
Nice,
So,
nice. Well, let's talk some boxing. What do you think about the heavyweights today? Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua just had an impressive knockout this past weekend. Joseph Parker and Andy Ruiz, they just fought for a vacant title. Joseph Parker won.
You're naming all these guys. I don't remember seeing them fight.
Yeah.
They're all brand new to me.
All brand new.
So it'd be hard for me to give my opinion on something I really don't know much about. I don't know.
Understandable.
I haven't seen them fight, so I don't really know.
Okay. What about, some of the bigger names today, like Gennady Golovkin? What do you think about Gennady Golovkin?
Gennady, he's the Russian guy, isn't he?
Yeah, the Triple G.
I've never seen him. I haven't seen him either.
Oh, you haven't really?
I'm silly here to give me all these guys. I should know about them, but I don't.
Oh, so you more talk about the classic boxers then, as opposed to today's boxers then, right?
Yeah, I suppose. I talk boxing, but in the meantime, as we speak, I might turn around and maybe tomorrow I'll see a whole bunch of film on the guys that
we're talking about.
That I missed.
Yeah. Do you think that boxing has evolved? Like from Jack Johnson to Joe Louis to Ali to today Mike Tyson. Do you think the fighters are continuously evolving, like getting better as times progress?
Are they getting better? That's the question. That's when you ask me the way you're asking me, it suggests to me that you're looking for who's the best of the new crop of guys. The new guys come up. To me, Mike Tyson, when Mike is right, when Mike is right, he's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a guy to fight. He's tough to beat.
Yeah.
He's tough to beat. And I feel bad for him now because he went through the tough stuff about he got stopped with
Buster Douglas.
And he's not in the best of shape mentally. When I say mentally, I'm talking about the way he looks at boxing today. That fight hurt him a lot. That fight hurt him. So hopefully he'll get his stuff together and get back in the ring and cop out a few more wins and then be back in action.
Do you have any favorite fighter today? Is there any fighter you say, man, I can't wait till that guy fights again or whatever?
Well, that's the way I felt about Mike Tyson. I felt that way about him.
That was about it?
Yeah, but he got knocked out by
Buster Douglas.
So
it was all downhill from there.
Pardon?
It was all downhill from there when he got knocked out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's hard. Well, boxing's a tough business. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
He's knocking everybody out. We're talking about Tyson, and all of a sudden he meets his Waterloo. He stopped himself.
Yeah.
And, so mentally, he has a lot to recover from. This is like he was a fighter and he won fights, he lost fights. He only lost one or two. Now just lately, I don't know who beat him.
After that?
Yeah.
Well, he had a couple losses. He lost to the guy from the UK. What was his name? The guy from the UK? Danny Williams. He lost to Danny Williams, Mike Tyson.
Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, he lost to Evander Holyfield. Got knocked out by Holyfield. And lost Danny Williams, and then it just.
So that kind of.
No, he did get knocked out. The first
Lewis.
No, Holyfield knocked him out the first time. Remember, in the 10th round, Holyfield knocked out Tyson in the 10th round, and then the second one, that's when Tyson bit his ear, and it was a DQ. He knocked him out. So yeah, man. Well,
Tyson at his best is a hell of a fighter. I don't care what everybody says. What he is now. I don't know what he's like now. Right, as we talk of the present time, he's not the fighter he was.
Oh yeah.
Whether he can bounce back or not is up to him. But he's a pretty tough guy mentally anyway, and I have faith in him. I have faith in him because I believe he's got enough strength, mental strength, to overcome things. I think he has.
In your opinion, who would win?
Pardon?
Who would win in your opinion between Mike Tyson and George Foreman at their prime, at their best?
George Foreman?
Between Mike Tyson and George.
That's a very good question. That's a good question. I still think Tyson at his absolute best, one of the best heavyweights ever, is in my opinion. Anything can happen.
So you would lean towards Tyson? You would lean towards Tyson against Foreman?
Yeah, against George. Hard to believe because George is a big, strong, heavy puncher. He's a big puncher. But everybody meets the Waterloo from time to time, and I think Tyson would be his Waterloo if he trained properly, he got into shape, and he got a couple of good wins and get him back in the groove again. I think Tyson. I would bet on Tyson. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean Tyson had a much better defense. His bobbing and weaving, his speed, agility.
Oh yeah, he closed the gap very well. Right on you. I mean, when he got aggressive,
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Rocky Marciano?
Rocky was a tough guy, but he's too small for them. I'm saying, the guy weighed 180 something. He's not even a full-fledged heavyweight. As a heavy, light heavy, if I can put it that way, he was a tough guy. He was a hell of a fighter. When you think about it, he wasn't a big guy. He's small.
Did you ever have a relationship with Rocky Marciano? Did you know him personally?
Yeah. He was a nice guy.
Now you remember they made the film Ali versus Rocky Marciano. Remember they made the movie of them fighting against each other? And in the movie, they had Rocky Marciano beating Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
What do you think would have happened if both of those guys were in their prime and they fought against each other?
Ali and
Marciano.
Ali and Marciano. I think Ali's too big and too fast.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And not taking it away from Rocky, because Rocky was a small heavyweight. He was more of a light heavyweight than a heavyweight.
Yeah.
With all due respect, but he's a small guy compared to who we're talking about? George Foreman?
Yeah.
George is way bigger than
Ali.
Way bigger.
Yeah. We were talking about Ali though. Because we were talking about Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali, he was pretty light too, right? Muhammad Ali, when he was in his prime, before he took his hiatus.
I'm trying to remember when he weighed for some of his fights. He weighed around 2.5, 2.7.
Yeah.
So he wasn't a little skinny guy. He's pretty well built.
And I remember Customato, he got into a big argument with Muhammad Ali. He was telling Muhammad Ali that Joe Louis would kick his ass. He said he wouldn't stand a chance against Joe Louis. That's what Customato was telling Muhammad Ali. So, I mean, what do you think about that fight?
Well, that's a hell of a fight. They're two great fighters from two different eras. Hard to pick them. Hard to pick them. The only way I could force myself to pick them was if I had to make a big bet. So
you don't think Ali's speed and his foot movement would be too much for Joe Louis?
I think he would be. When you look at the guys Joe Louis fought and give him big trouble, Billy Conn.
Big trouble. Foot movement,
Yeah. And who was the other guy? A couple other guys gave him a lot of trouble. Jersey Joe Walcott. Big trouble.
Yeah.
But there's one thing's for sure. No one knocks out this guy, and no one knocked him down. That's for sure.
Nobody. And what was the trick, man? What was the?
He's got metal inside his right here.
Iron chin.
Yeah. I mean, was it a little bit of a bluff though, where they may have had you a little hurt and they didn't know and they didn't go in for the kill?
Honestly, I sound like I'm bragging, but I'm just telling the truth. I've never been knocked down. I never even been close to knocked down. I was close to being knocked down with George Foreman, because I got hit with a few bunch of shots, and he threw the other ones. But I wasn't going down. But anyway,
I got one more question.
As it is, I've always worked on taking care of my punching muscles and my take a shot muscles. I used to chew. It sounds funny. I used to chew bubble gum when I was a kid. When I was 10 years old, 12 years old, I was fighting. That's when I started fighting. But I knew when a guy would chews bubble gum in those days, kids had bubble gum.
So made your chin, your jaw stronger.
Jaws go bigger. And so that's what I did. And I think it helped me a lot.
Jaw exercises, huh?
I got one more question.
Yeah, what fighters talk about jaw exercises? They don't talk about that. I do, but the other guys don't.
Ernie Shavers. Was he the hardest puncher, or George Foreman?
I only sparred with
Ernie?
Ernie Shavers.
Ernie Shavers. He's a hard puncher. He's a hard puncher, but you're asking me what if
he was a harder puncher?
Foreman or Shavers?
I would say Foreman. I would say that's, but I shouldn't say that because
You never fought him on a.
I never fought him. One guy I fought with regular professional gloves, 8 ounce or whatever they were, and the other guy fought with the big mitts with the 16 ounces in the sparring sessions. Sparring.
Because many people say Ernie Shavers is probably the hardest puncher in heavyweight.
Could be. I don't necessarily think so, but I mean, who knows?
Great interview.
Last thing, what time did you have an amateur pedigree?
Did you have a career?
Yeah.
Not much of a career.
Okay.
That's 16, 15 fights, 16.
Oh, okay.
I was like 10 years old, 12 years old.
Okay, so you turned pro pretty quick then.
Yeah, I couldn't turn pro until I was 18, but I never fought many guys before that. I won the Canadian title, national title in Canada, but I didn't have many fights.
Okay.
And I fought in Regina. I knocked out a couple guys here and there, but I couldn't get anybody in the ring with me. So
Interesting.
that's why I only had about 15, 16 fights in amateur.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
And that's impressive, man. For you to turn pro with that lack of experience, making the transition into the pros, and that's impressive, man.
That's a good trick.
Yeah, good trick.
Tell them the first night, your first pro fight. His first pro fight was at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. He fought 4 guys in one night and knocked all 4 of them out. That was his pro debut.
That was your pro debut, fighting 4 guys in one night?
4 guys one night, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I knocked out 2 in 2 rounds and 2 in 1 round.
Was this a wild bet or something, or what? I mean,
No, that's just the way it was set up. It was a Jack Dempsey heavyweight tournament.
it was a Jack Dempsey heavyweight
Jack
tournament.
Dempsey. Going to find another heavyweight champion of the world.
So this was all in one day because it was a tournament.
Yeah, one night.
Man, those were the days right there, huh?
Yeah.
Because it's a tournament.
3
That makes
rounds,
sense.
4 rounds, whatever.
Yeah.
I knocked everybody out anyway. Most of the guys couldn't fight much anyway.
Yeah, but that's still impressive, though. 4 knockouts or 4 wins in one night, that's impressive, man. So, hey, well, thank you for your time, man. I appreciate it,
Yeah,
man.
you're most welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.